Yeah.
sure. So, in terms of this year, then, so apart from what you've mentioned there, what else are you trying? Are you trying anything new with? I will bring it up because we kind of already
Yeah, I'm
previously
happy you're going to
mentioned it.
bring it up. It's good.
AI. So, what are you doing? Anything technology wise?
Do you know what? It's such an interesting topic, isn't it? Everyone's sort of talking about it, and I get emails every day from all these accounting, or not just accounting, all these, AI this, AI that. I think there's a newsletter called Superhuman AI, really, really good. I don't know if you're on it, but you
No,
should definitely.
I'm not looked. Superhuman AI, was
Superhuman
it?
AI, yeah. I mean, it's really, really good, but it frightens the life out of me seeing the things that you can do. But
Mhm.
our industry is really interesting because I mean everyone uses it, Chat GPT for whatever. I mean, I haven't met anyone who doesn't use it now.
Yeah.
But we're so tied into tech. And what I mean by that is we use Iris, we use Zero, we use this, we use that. And they've got billions behind them.
Mhm.
So do you go and build something which is good, which we've spoken about. We came up with ideas. We went and got quotes with someone who it's not cheap.
Mhm.
Or do you wait and let these big tech companies build it internally themselves? I don't know. And if I don't know, it
Mhm.
means for me it's a little bit too early for our industry. I'm
Yeah.
yet to meet anyone who can say to me, we can do this, 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 and this with AI,
Mhm.
and you know that can actually change what we're doing. I
Mhm.
think it's a little bit too early. I'd love to work with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Well, the way I've seen with other accountancy firms and people I've spoken to so far that use AI, for me, it's less about using it. It's more to use it to supplement what you're doing and make this give you more time to spend with your clients more than anything. So the way I see it's being used with people so far is though all those mundane tasks that maybe you guys as accountancy firm are doing every single day that's repeatable that you think really we should be passing that on to something like AI to take that
But
time away. And
Give me an example.
so that could be one could be client calls, could be taking all the notes, sending that across to the client automatically. That could be an
Yeah.
example. Um, one could be, yeah, again, if we look at client notes, because that's a really good example, because typically how that would work is you'd have a call with someone, right? And then you'd be like, right, I'm going to type up all my notes. That might take you 20, 30 minutes, whatever. And then you're sending it across to a client. So yeah, that's one way of doing it. Another thing is a lot of things I've seen a lot with phone systems and that side of it as well. That's a
Yeah,
new
I've
thing
seen
that's
that.
happening quite a
Yeah.
lot. So it can be from even from a business development perspective, there's a lot going on with AI in that respect, but also from a customer service perspective. One thing that we found with our clients, we did a survey last year of every single client we have across 4,500. And we found that I think 50% of them were missing 50% of the calls. Can you imagine the amount of business they're sort of
Oh,
missing just from not being able to pick up a phone every single time?
yeah.
Whereas, so one thing that we did recently is we developed a software, an AI piece of software that essentially will take that message for them, that message, transcribe it, and reply back to the customer to keep them warm. It's almost like a lead incubator.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's lots of different ways that you can use AI, or lots of different ways that companies would use it. But I think definitely with an account, obviously you'll know accountancy more than I do. You're in it every single day, but there'll be loads of those sort of tasks every day that you could sort of optimize that you don't really need a human for.
No, I completely agree. And it's like, but do you go and build something and
Mm,
spend and invest loads of money into something to build when, you know, say, oh, we use Office 365, right?
yeah,
Copilot, will Copilot do it in now? I know it does a lot now, or
yeah,
will, we use Ignition for proposals. Will Ignition launch something AI? They're in a far better position to
yeah, yeah.
do stuff. So I think it's a tad too early. I think that we do use AI we did test AI with prospecting.
Mm,
Hasn't really worked too I
sure.
think I just think it's a little bit too early at the minute, which pains me
Yeah.
to say because we've always been sort of at the forefront of the industry.
Hmm.
But I think what people are in danger of is going to invest loads of money in it, And then actually in 6 months or a year's time, someone else has already done it, and you just pay a small monthly subscription for it.
Yeah, that's definitely the danger of building your own piece of software,
Yeah.
right? So yeah, I'd say really, I'd say from a business level, it's almost where do we want to focus our time, and do we see the value of investing that time, worthwhile? And again, what's your company vision? Do you want to be a software company, or do you want to move towards that, or trying
Advisory.
to stick to your roots of being an advisory company?
I'm hoping that, like, if you look at the main sort of labor tasks in what we do, it's processing, right? It's putting stuff into accounts systems and producing accounts. I think zero, then the reconciliations and things like that. I think to go and develop something that improves the time efficiency of something like that will be done. Zero will do it.
Yeah.
I'd like to think zero would do it. Otherwise, they're gonna fall. They're gonna fall. They're gonna fall behind. So,
Yeah.
like I said, we came up with an idea not long ago, but it would have cost us an absolute fortune to do.
Yeah.
And I don't. It frightens me to go and invest in it when,
Yeah.
like I said, in a year's time, it'll probably be out of date.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that concerns me.
Yeah. It's almost, it's a big gamble, isn't it? It's a
Yeah.
big gamble. And I think unless you're what you think for your company is, look, I want to move more towards being a tech company. Unless that's the case, then it's definitely not worth doing, right? Because like you said, the chances are the investment behind somewhat a company like Xero or QuickBooks or any of these companies that have, let's face it, billions of pounds at their disposal, and people that have that sort of background, you're almost losing a battle there unless you're just so early and it's just the perfect thing, and you can almost sell it to those companies because the chances are they'll just buy it from you
Yeah.
anyway. So yeah,
Interesting though. We about 5, 6, maybe longer, 6 years ago, we developed an automation. So I think there's a lot of confusion between AI and automation as well. I think where a lot of people think they need AI, you don't. You can just do automations, whatever. We've developed our own confirmation statement filing. We saved like 4 or 5 days a month for someone.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. But we developed it ages ago, and it didn't cost us that much to develop. And there's still no other confirmation statement system out there,
right? Yeah,
that is as good as what we've got. I've checked. I'll check all the time. Every show, I'll go and check. I'll speak to someone who does it, and it still does not do what we can do, which is interesting. I tried to sell it to Iris, and tried to sell it to Iris, and they said no, we've got Elements coming out soon. Yeah, I don't think it's out yet. Is it 6, 7 years ago? But yeah.
There is,
But yeah, it still doesn't do what we do. So there are sort of things you can do, I think, that if it makes it worthwhile.
Yeah.
I think AI is a different ball game. I think we're just slightly too early, and I think Xero will do something, right? I know like Silverfin and people there are companies out there that are already sort of toying around with it and adding it into their systems.
Yeah.
I think it's just, it won't be long before you will need half the labour capacity to do the same work.
Yeah, I think it will be the case where account managers and client service people is doing a lot more of what you're already talking about, and the stuff that you're already moving towards as a business, going there, being more of an advisor, meeting with the customer a lot more. I think we're almost going to move back to where we were like 20 odd years ago, where it's more face to face, more working with people on a personal level. So yeah, I think you're already a few steps ahead just by what you do naturally as a business.
Hopefully. Yeah, but it is frightening because it frustrates me that you want to just go and I'm consistently looking for something, and it's like it's not quite there, but you want to stay ahead of the industry. You want to stay ahead. We've always been ahead, but I just think it's a little bit too early, and I find it really frustrating.
Yeah, it's like we said, it is a big investment, a big gamble to then think, right, I've got this need, let's invest loads of money into developing something. So
yeah,
I think unless you as a business owner is just like, look, I have to do it, unless that's the case, it's probably not
I
worth
agree.
doing.
I agree.
So yeah, that would be my 2 cents on it.